Okay, now we're going to try to do two separate trend lines on the same scatter plot. This is exciting. This is the first time I've ever tried this, but there's a nice video on YouTube. So I'm just going to grab this whole clump here, and then these would be the late dates. I'm going to do a shift delete here and a paste, and we'll get these headers over there also. So notice that we don't have the same amount of data points in our first set as we do in the second. That really is irrelevant. That doesn't matter. And then inserting the initial scatter plot is basically what we had done before. No surprises there. Maybe I will go ahead and I really should have changed the title before too, but we're going to say net support by month. Something like that, not too eloquent here. And let's go ahead and get our trend line. Okay, and we'll get the equation in R squared for this trend line. So this is for the, I guess these would be for the early period in the trade union. Put it over here because I guess the late period is going to come in to the right of this. And let me go ahead and just again, where was it? Maybe chart elements, axis titles. There we go. And this was the months. Be a little more specific here than it was in the first one. And this is our net support. There we go. Okay, so here's the real test of time. Can we put this data in? And I can't remember whether or not they highlighted that. I could go back to the thing if this doesn't work. And I believe they just cut these or copied them maybe. And then the paste feels like it was paste special. This isn't looking promising. Maybe I'll select this data and then paste special. There we go. Nice. And we just want this to be a new series. Categories are in the first column, but we don't want to replace the existing months. Is our series name in the first row? We did not put it in the first row, so I'm not going to check that. And so my first row is the actual data there. Click OK. Oh, beautiful. Love that. Okay. Nice. We're going to put this here, and then this should be fairly straightforward where we add a trend line, and look at that. That's a beauty. That was fun. Okay. Okay, so we have our best fitting trend lines there. It does want us to go ahead and run the regression too, so I'm just going to go to data. This will essentially be what I did in the first video where I'm just grabbing my Y range here will be the net support, and then months in this first chunk. Labels are checked because I did select those, and I'll hit OK. And I may just label this as early so that I'm starting to get a few labels here. And then I'm going to do the data analysis again, regression again. Now my Y is the net support right here. X is the months. Everything else is good. Okay, and I'm going to check this as late. And notice I have a regression output for each of these now. And you also might notice that the R squared here, 0.58 and 0.70 each of those individually are quite a bit less than my original r squared was. So I'm going to put this combined. Talk about that here in just a second. Okay, and you know what? Let me go ahead and grab this output from the late. I'm going to put it in with the early. So the early would be first, then the late. Get rid of that. I'm just going to delete these for now. What I really wanted to show was if I grab the scatter plot, I'm copying it, and now I'm pasting it. Just to reiterate that this, if you see that y equals 0.2104x minus 66.628, and that's exactly what we're getting from our output. Similar here, we're getting 0.3843x minus 53.514, and that's what we're getting right here.